After the successful score pulled at the benevolent bank, the dentist has organised another job for us. This time we're taking a vacation down to Miami and asking ourselves an important question. Do we like hurting other people? This is Hotline Miami. Released September 14th, 2014, Hotline Miami is Payday 2's first crossover DLC, crossing over with the 2012 game of the same name. If you don't know about Hotline Miami, the plot follows a war veteran named Jacket who is tasked by a mysterious group to take down the Russian mafia. That is a heavy simplification, I know, but since the game is regularly on sale for dirt cheap, I'd recommend playing it and the sequel. Who knows, you might get some extra goodies if you do. Onto the actual DLC. It includes 1 2-day heist, 3 submachine guns, 4 melee weapons, 4 masks with materials and patterns, 5 achievements, and bonus content unlockable by owning Hotline Miami, which gives you 1 melee weapon and 4 more masks with materials and patterns. I'll be ranking this DLC out of 6 categories, the first time, and probably only time such a thing will happen, out of 5 for a max of 30 points. Let's be real here, it's probably not going to reach 30, but who knows. Let's count our blessings and find out if the Hotline Miami DLC is still worth it. On our mission to free our buddy Hoxton, the dentist gives us a plan. Kill an associate of the district attorney and he might be able to apply some leverage to get Hawks a retrial. So, it's off to kill a Russian drug lord named the Commissar. Day 1's objective is all about pissing him off, so we can trace his call and find out where he is. First, we kill his men, luckily having half the job done behind the scenes by our chicken-headed friend, before we torch a few cars and blow up a gas station. Having had enough time on the phone to figure out where he's hiding, we use a winch to gain access to an underground bunker filled with some of the Commissar's trade. Guns, vodka, fur coats, the usual. Whilst here, we use a nearby whiteboard and the items in the crates to further narrow his location before the gang heads back to the escape car. Day 2 is where things get interesting. Having been delivered by a box to the Commissar's hideout, we discover it's a death trap of boarded up hallways and C4. Not only that, the bastard's actively flushing cocaine down the toilet, so we gotta act fast for a bigger payday. Breaking into his penthouse and having to use a thermal drill to break into his vault, we riddled the crime lord full of bullets and escaped via helicopter, with a sizable amount of loot depending on how fast we were. As a heist, Hotline Miami is a brilliant homage to the game it's named after, rewarding players who put the pedal to the metal. A perfect 5. Fun, replayable, and is all about killing. Three secondary submachine guns. I would have at least appreciated a pistol, but I can understand why. Starting off, the Cobra, based on the SAVZ-61 Scorpion. Fast fire rate, big ammo reserves, and is fairly stable to boot. Either ran on its own or in pairs, it's quite a fun, reliable little weapon. Just remember to be careful as you may accidentally blow your load before the assault wave ends. Next, the Blaster 9mm, based on the Intratec Tech 9. A rather infamous weapon in American history, the Blaster is the Hotline DLC's Goldilocks weapon. It exchanges a little bit of that faster fire rate for a higher stability, and can actually obtain some pretty decent accuracy. Of course, it's still a submachine gun at the end of the day, so unless you put it into that legal semi-auto, you'll probably waste it. Probably. And finally, the Uzi, based on the IMI Uzi. And no, I'm not going to do the voice I did for the Galil, that would get tiring. The full opposite end of the spectrum compared to the Cobra, with an assault rifle level fire rate, high damage, and the ability to reach 100/100 stats fairly easily. It's actually a pretty good gun, but I'm not using it. It's not got the pizzazz that the other weapons do. Still, I'm giving the weapons a 5. Some pretty solid offerings. Oh wait, shit, I forgot about the gun fact. Only one for today. Equipping the Blaster 9mm with the short barrel turns the Intratec Tech 9 into an Intratec AB-10, the version made to comply with the US's gun laws. That's all. Four melee weapons, all of which actually feature in Hotline Miami. First, the baseball bat, one of Hotline Miami's common weapons. Its swing speed is a little slow, but it has good range and, you know, is a baseball bat. Sadly, just a month before this DLC released, players got the Lucille baseball bat. Oh, what's that? My apologies, won't happen again. Sorry folks, just been told I'm not allowed to remind people about Overkill's The Walking Dead. Anyway, the cleaver knife, possibly based on the one that Baker uses. Statistically, it's the same as most other knives, but the animations are pretty good, which I'm pretty sure are unique to this specific cleaver. Next, the machete knife. A very Voorheesian design, obviously beaten out by the El Verdugo stat-wise. I wouldn't recommend it. And finally, the fire axe. Need to commit a Patrick Bateman or Rodion Raskolnikov moment? Well, how about 7,200 damage straight into someone's skull? It's slow, but with its extended reach and knockback, you'll feel like an axe murderer. I'll give the melee weapons a 4. They aren't really the best, but the fact that they've finally cracked the melee weapons code this early enough is to be celebrated. Good job, guys. Good job. Or animal masks, based on ones from, well, you know where they're from. I'll at least try to make this interesting for the people who haven't played it and tell you what they do and when you get it. Aubrey the Pig. Unlocked for achieving a high score in the second level Overdose, this mask replaces the random weapon spawns in any level with firearms. It is also the canonical mask Jacket wears in the third level Decadence, as the level's events are the inspiration for the in-universe movie Midnight Animal. Dennis the Wolf. Unlocked for achieving a high score in the 5th level, Full House, this mask allows Jacket to start the level with a knife, but on levels with police enemies is instead replaced with a baton. For the longest time I thought this mask was a polar bear, as the version that appears in Hotline Miami is a drastically different design. Graham the Rabbit. Unlocked for achieving a high score in the 4th level, Tension, this mask increases Jacket's move speed by 25%, and like Dennis, has a different appearance from the Payday 2 version of the mask. And finally, at least for now, Rasmus the Owl. Unlocked for achieving a high score in the 1st level, the Metro, this mask makes the letters for the secret ending, as well as collectible masks, more easily recognisable. Even if 2 of the masks aren't one-to-one recreations of the Hotline masks, they're really good looking masks, fit for a homicidal masked maniac. The materials are as follows: Chromescape, Error, Rubber, and Sunset. A really good selection of materials, with Sunset easily being one of my favourites. The patterns are as follows: Be Somebody, Doodles, Hip to be Polygon, and Palm Trees. Not as good as the patterns, I'm afraid, but they look alright. I'll give the customization a 3. The mask and materials are good, only really brought down by mediocre patterns. Only 5 unique achievements, which for a Heist DLC sounds like a small amount, but I personally appreciate this pack's dedication to being quick and not wasting time. Overdose. Cook and secure 6 bags of meth during day 1. You can find a meth lab in one of the motel's upstairs rooms. It has some ingredients and a whiteboard with correct steps. However, to get more ingredients you have to get into the Commissar's bunker and open up the crates. You might get unlucky and not get enough of them, but I do know that there is a method to guarantee more, but I'm not sure what it is. It unlocks the Graham Mask, the Ghetto Blaster Barrel, Extended Mag, and the Just Bend It stock for the Blaster 9mm, the Error Material, and the Be Somebody pattern. Do you like hurting other people? Kill 30 of the Commissar's men with the baseball bat. This unlocks the Dennis Mask, the Solid Stock for the Uzi, the Wooden Grip for the Cobra, the Rubber Material, and the Hip to Be Polygon pattern. Phew! On day 2 of Hotline Miami, save the bomb hostage that may randomly appear. This unlocks the Aubrey Mask, the Ergo Grip Extended Mag and the Unfolded Stock for the Cobra, the Sunset Material, and the Doodles pattern. Walk faster. On day 2 of Hotline Miami, reach the penthouse within 2 minutes and 10 seconds. This unlocks the Rasmus Mask, the Tactical Foregrip and the Ergonomic Stock for the Uzi, the Chromescape Material, and the Palm Trees pattern. And finally, the sounds of animals fighting. Beat Hotline Miami on hard or above, whilst your crew wears each one of the unique animal masks from this DLC. This does not count the ones unlocked from owning Hotline Miami or Hotline Miami 2. This unlocks the Silent Death Suppressor and the Folded Stock for the Uzi, the Suppressor and the No Stock option for the Cobra, and the Short Barrel for the Blaster 9mm. Short, to the point, and not that hard to actually do. The achievements? Get a 5. This DLC could walk away with the score it has, but it's decided it wasn't done yet and it started executing everyone in the building. Owning Hotline Miami on Steam unlocks 1 melee weapon as well as 4 masks and the associated goodies that come with them. Starting us off, the 50 Blessings briefcase. It's certainly a melee weapon. Low damage but has max concealment. It is a briefcase after all. Everything else is at least a better deal, starting with the masks. Brandon the Panther. Unlocked for achieving a high score on the 17th level, Fun and Games, this mask allows Jacket to move at ludicrous speeds. Unlike Hotline, it's not just a recolor of Tony's mask. Don Juan the Horse. Unlocked for achieving a high score on the 3rd level, Decadence, this mask turns Jacket's door slams into instant kills. It also increases the score gained from executions against enemies leaning against a wall. It's also brown instead of grey, for some reason. Tony the Tiger. Unlocked for achieving a high score on the 1st level, No Talk, this mask makes Jacket's punches instantly lethal and boosts the speed of his bare-handed executions. And finally, Richard the Chicken. The mask belonging to everyone's favourite masked sociopath. It is really strange to see the default mask after having come accustomed to Richard Returns for about a decade, but the classic is still a classic. The materials are as follows: Cushion, Hatred, Neon, and Rug. Neon and Hatred are perfect colours, whilst Rug and Cushion are obviously giant memes, but still, those two are amazing. The pattern are as follows: Hotline, Leopard, Shut Up and Bleed, and Ugly Rug. Again, a solid set of patterns. The bonus content gets a 5, and for how often Hotline Miami goes on sale, I'd recommend it in a heartbeat. 5, 5, 4, 3, 5, and 5. Giving us a max of 27. Giving Hotline Miami the grand honour of being the first S tier, and ascending above the scale. No other DLC comes close to having this much content crammed into it, and as a homage to another game, I'd say it's damn near perfect. Next time, we'll go back to the past with the Gauge Historical Pack, and I hope to see you there. Take care, and have a good one.